This is Houston Newsmakers with Khambrel Marshall.
Politics is not taking any days off these days, whether it be conflicts about the American Rescue Act, which is pumping almost $2 trillion into the hands of families and businesses. No Republican support for that. Or the For the People Act, which is designed to put voting rights as a priority in this country as Republicans push for what they call more safeguards. Or now, revived talk about gun legislation after 2 mass shootings in the span of 2 weeks. And of course, what to do about the immigration issues along the border on our south border. Well, Congressman Al Green has been involved in many of those discussions and is here this morning. Congressman, thank you for spending this time with me. I really appreciate it. We've seen 2 mass shootings in 2 weeks' time, and it's revived talk about gun control. Your thoughts about whether or not it's a waste of time this time or worthwhile effort, because it's been tried before to no avail.
It's never a waste of time to do righteous things. You don't always prevail the first time, but you can prevail in time. And I think we have to continue. This is why I supported both of the background check bills. We ought not allow people to get guns by default, simply because the background check is not completed within some small amount of time. You get your gun, and then, of course, we know what happened at Mother Emanuel in South Carolina. Mm-hmm. So we have to do this. It's not something that we do because it's convenient or because it seems like a good idea. We do it because it's the righteous thing to do. We cannot continue to suffer the Sandy Hooks. We cannot continue to have the Auroras, persons in theaters killed, and of course, the person who is simply shopping in a food market, right, and they lose their lives. So this is the right thing to do, and we cannot concern ourselves with what the consequences in terms of a backlash might be.
Right, and the gun lobby may be weakened enough to, because I thought that once it didn't pass after Sandy Hook, when children were killed in that regard, that it had no chance ever. But it looks like maybe the gun lobby may be weakened enough for that to happen this time?
Well, the gun lobby is a part of it, but there's also a constituency out there, right, that really does believe that there's an effort being made to take their guns, right, which is not the case. The Second Amendment provides persons the right to keep their guns, and I support this. Right. But I do believe that there's the gun lobby and then there's this constituency, so both together. But we have to just do it because it's the right thing to do. Our numbers are higher than any other country in the world when it comes to murders with guns. We have more guns on the street than any other country per capita. We've got to change that.
Let's talk about the For the People Act. I want to talk and read something to our viewers about how it's described in the legislation. It says, to expand Americans' access to the ballot box, reduce the influence of big money in politics, strengthen ethics rules for public servants, and implement other anti-corruption measures for the purpose of fortifying our democracy and for other purposes. On the face of it, it sounds like what any good democracy might want, but the devils are in the details, and there are plenty of Republicans who have issues with this bill. So let's talk about what's going on with this bill and pushed by Republicans against it. None voted for it in the House. No Republicans voted for it in the House. Are you surprised by that?
No, this was the case with the Affordable Care Act. The country is pretty evenly divided, and Republicans are going to give Democrats few wins. It's become political, putting politics above people. And so in an effort to recapture the House, the Senate, and the presidency, this is a part of the tactics, the strategy that will be used. It's not unusual, it's not uncommon now. It was done when President Obama was there, and I guess the best example of it is the Affordable Care Act.
So this, on the face of it, sounds like it is something that is just to have people have more access. Senator Cruz wrote an op-ed recently. He said that this bill will allow illegal immigrants and felons to vote. Is there anything in that bill that allows that?
Not that I'm aware of. Maybe there's some interpretation that would truly be a misrepresentation of the intentionality associated with the legislation. Mm-hmm, but there's nothing there that would do this on its face. What this bill does is, very simply, it does try to bring some sense of justice to something that is considered a right in this country. People ought to be able to vote. And if they're standing in line and they're thirsty, you ought to be able to give them water. People ought to be able to vote. And if you have a county as big as Harris, you ought to have drop-off boxes, more than one for Harris County. People ought to be able to vote and have automatic registration. You shouldn't have to go through some great trouble to register to vote. Up in North Dakota, there is no requirement to register to vote. In the state of North Dakota, no requirement to register. So we need to change what we perceive as normal and make it righteous. We need to make sure that there is automatic voter registration. We need to give people the opportunity to register to vote the same day of an election. Why not have same-day registration, and voting?
This is good. You made that point about a state that doesn't require the registration, and so the different states have different ways to do that. Some who are against this bill say that this bill would effectively repeal the state and local election laws in terms of taking it out of their hands, and that's what they are against. Your comment on that?
Well, it doesn't do anything that the Constitution will not allow. And there are some states where things ought to be taken out of their hands. Look at what's happening in Georgia right now. Georgia is a state wherein they're requiring and persons to avoid giving people water, restricting the right to give somebody water who's in line for hours, by the way. This is what happened to love thy neighbor. What happened to do unto others as you would have them do unto you? What happened to being your brother's keeper? I've seen people talking a great game when it benefits them, but now that it seems to them that there's an edge given to minorities, they're coming up with all of these restrictions. They're going to do away with the Sunday voting. What happened to allowing people to vote at a time when it's convenient, especially after church on Sundays? You can see that these bills are aimed at minority voters and persons who are not likely to have all the conveniences that some others have when it comes to voting.
In a couple of minutes we have left. I know we're going to do a little Newsmakers Extra as well, so we'll have a little extra time. But I want to ask you about, you've been on the front lines in the community trying to make sure that coronavirus vaccines are more available to you. But right now, let me ask you about the border first. Along the border, thousands of people trying to come across this country and a lot of blame gaming going on, but not much in the long-term solution category. What say you about that?
Well, first, I want to commend the President Biden, for having a humanitarian spirit. These are young people that are being allowed to stay. And I have here an article that is styled, this is from the New Yorker. It is styled, "When Deportation is a Death Sentence." Talks about a young lady named Laura and how she was deported and how she was killed after she was deported. Human Rights Watch has indicated some 138 cases of Salvadorans who have either been murdered or there's been an investigation associated with them being harmed. And they're just stories after stories about what happens to people once they are deported. Jose Escobar was a constituent in the 9th Congressional District, probably still is. He was reporting, and when the Trump administration came in, he went to report. He had his wife with him and his baby. They took him from his wife and baby and sent him to El Salvador. He hadn't been there in 15 years. His wife was an American-born citizen. He had 2 American-born children. It took us more than 2 years to get him back. I went there 3 times. And by the way, I didn't have a lot of help from the State Department under the Trump administration, but we brought him home. This is the kind of thing that's happening. And while he was there, he was threatened. While he was there were things that made it difficult for him to traverse the area where he was. So we have to be concerned about others. Again, love thy neighbor. Do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. Brother's keeper. This is the kind of country we tell others that we are, and we cannot be a good example without being a good example. We have to do some of the things that we ask others to do. We've had Jordan to take in the Syrians, and we've spent millions of dollars helping Jordan do this. So we have to be a good example, and the best way to be a good example is to be a good example and do what you say, practice what you preach. I
want to flesh more of this out on our Newsmakers Extra. I want to thank you in advance for being willing to do that. Our viewers will be able to go to clicktohouston.com on the Newsmakers page and see some of that. Just ahead, thank you again, Congressman. Appreciate it. We'll be back with you in just a moment.